what I want to be able to cover tonight. I think that with this channel, I think that's definitely one of the things that I want us to be able to do. I want us to be able to come by and actually discuss things like this, because it's not always appropriate to do it on the relationship rehab channel, which is what I've done in the past. I think that that we would have to, you know, have somewhere appropriate to do that, and fortunately I think that's here. So with that being said, I want to give some shout outs to all of the people out there that's supporting a brother. Let me make sure I got this right, and we're gonna go up here. Let's start from the tippy top. I want to give a shout out to the person who we all know and love, and we all know that ain't shit, Mr. D. Rivas. I want to say I want to say what's up to Jay Dizzle. I want to say what's up to Jinx. Jinx, where you been? I ain't seen you in a while. I want to give a shout out to Michelle Glass, always supporting. Hey, is the sound good now? Y'all can just let me know if it is or if it ain't. Let me close this guy down. There we go. And that's closed. Good. So we're rolling. All right. Let's see who else. I shiz you not. Want to send a shout out to him. What's up? What's up? What is that? Aco? Or look, yeah, I think it's Aco. What's up, Guru? What's up to the channel? Thank you. I appreciate that. Young Sykes. Constance, what's going on? I hope you can hear me now. D. Lisa Thomas, what's happening? Pete the Pirate, what's up, matey? Arr, my boy Tony Hogan, what's up? Let's see. She said, turn them shits down. Hey, y'all know the shit gonna be messed up for the first, 3 to 5 minutes, and after that it should be good. So don't trip. Let's see. I'm good over there on that end. Thank you, DJ, for letting me know that. All right, let's see. Voice is too low, Michelle. Let's see. Jinxie, Beverly Jones, what's up? What's happening? Super T, my man, CEO of Tavis Rentals, where you can rent a car even if it don't start. My man. Let's see who else is in here. Shouting out Reginald R, what's up? Lisa Thomas, Revy Guns, what's going on? And I think the Lola Ma, what's going on? And let's see who else. We got the Jinx, we got the Black. What's up with it, Brielle? How you doing, brother? Got that baby on the way. About to be a daddy any day. Got that baby on the way. About to be a daddy any day. Young Sykes, what's up? Let's see, where's my list there? I think I'm almost at the bottom. My brother from another mother, like no other, DJ Just JOK. Hey, live. Darcy Ann, what's happening? I want to give a shout out to Scar. What's up? What's up? Skohar. I said Scar, didn't I? Carolyn Gunn, what's happening? And Exodosia. Alright. Latanya, what's up? Hey, live. I believe my man DJ Magic. What up, brother? DJ Magic. Alright, so I think that's everybody. We're going to get it cracking. I'm not going to be on here too long. But I first and foremost want to say thank you to everybody that has supported the new channel. Everybody that has come by and supported this channel, the Relationship Rehab. I got, I think, like 40 or 50 subscribers already. It's been like the first 24 hours. So I appreciate all of that help. You guys don't know how much it really means to me. Shout out to Joey JoJo Jr. I just really thank you for the support that you guys give me. You guys inspire me, and you guys are the reason why I keep going and keep doing this. Also, to all of those people, if you have not checked it out on the Relationship Rehab page, I've done a series called From Daddies to Daughters. It's really, 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 really good. I really like doing it. It is so much fun. It's basically me doing videos, and my daughter's 4 now, but I'm talking to her as though she is a young woman or an adult. So I'm giving her fatherly advice, and I wanted all of the other people who see those videos to actually share those videos with young ladies, nieces, your own daughters, and even for other older young ladies that may or may not can, benefit from it. So I've been doing that as well. A brother been busy. I've been working, y'all. I've been working. But I'm definitely excited about what's to come. I got a lot of good content coming up for the United Guns of America channel, which I think is going to be really big. I think this is going to be really good. I love talking about guns. I love talking about tactical awareness, different types of guns and all that kind of stuff. I am an NRA pistol instructor. I have served on the police department before, so it's like I have, I think, different perspective. I've been out there in them streets before too, in Chicago, Chi-Town, what up, Wild Hunteds, till the world blow up. You know what it is, 12 deuce. I've been on all sides of both sides of the fence, so it's like I think I have a perspective that can actually help some people. So, and man, DJ, that I ain't know nothing about that video you did, brother, with that basketball chick. That was wow. I mean, that was wild. I hope you do like a panel show or something like for that tonight, cause man, I got a bunch of stuff to talk about with that video. But I definitely would love to have a good conversation about that. So that's pretty much what I want to do. So today, let's just dive right in, because it's been coming up on about the half-hour thing. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's on my page. Go ahead, if somebody can get access to the comments section or something, put the link in there so they can subscribe to the channel. If you guys actually watching this channel, whichever you on whichever channel that you own, just subscribe, join, so you can check it out, so you can get all the info when we do put up content. I also want to send a shout out to my man Tommy Sotomayor, of course, my brother from another mother as well. Thank you, brother, for all that you do for me, and that all of the wonderful things that we have done together, brother. It is absolutely a blessing, man. I appreciate you, your insight, your leadership, and just, you know, you being you, man. Another brother. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to my man DJ Just J, who always shout me out, who always supported me since day one. I appreciate you, and I try my best to support you too, brother. You know I got nothing but love for you. Shout out to my man Shouty Kane, the coldest gamer out here on the Soto Gaming channel. I appreciate you too, brother. Him and Jeezy Cakes. Give a shout out to her too as well. And shout out to the Morning Soto. Can't wait for that to come back on. I love tuning into that show, even though I really can't chat on it because I'll be at my job, but I still be listening to it. I love the Morning Soto. So I'll be looking forward to that coming back on soon. And also to Packer Girl, I see you out there doing your thing. Keep on doing your thing with the Soto politics as usual. That's what's up. Appreciate you too, sis, for always supporting. So let's move right along. So basically what I wanted to do is just talk about the whole mass shooting thing that occurred in Florida, you know, with the kids at the school, and just give some perspective on it. So one of the biggest things that has like come from all of this, of course, is, hey, we need better gun control. We need to do something about these guns. And I wanted to speak on that. So first and foremost, the kid used an AR-15, which is basically a semi-automatic rifle. That's exactly what it is. The AR does not, I repeat, the AR does not stand for assault rifle. To every idiot that says that, that is not what it stands for. The AR stands for, first and foremost, it stands for the people that initially created that platform, and which is Armalite. That's what it's about. It's Armalite rifle. That's what it is, and it's the number 15 prototype or whatever, the 15 model. That's exactly what that means. So all of that, it says assault rifle. You shouldn't be using it if it says assault rifle. You don't want to assault people. That is not what that rifle, what that means. So you first and foremost need to correct yourselves on that. When people say it around you, say, nope, that is not what it is. Stop saying that, because that's stupid. Second of all, and this is coming from a guy, let me first and foremost say this. I am a gun guy. I am definitely a gun guy. I believe in the Second Amendment. Shout out to the Deuce is what I call it. I actually just made that up, the Deuce. Yeah, but shout out to the Deuce. I do love the Second Amendment. I think that we all need to be able to carry guns. I think we all need to be able to have the right to carry guns. I think that is something that it should not be infringed upon. However, I do believe that there needs to be some type of sense made around it as far as from a responsibility aspect. I think that every person that carries a gun, I think that every person that owns a gun needs to first and foremost be responsible for that gun and what that gun does. And they also need to be able to take care and be safe with that gun. They need to be able to shoot that gun. They need to be able to clean that gun. They need to be able to do those things with that gun. It's just like with a car or any other type of vehicle or any other type of tool that you use. You have to be responsible for it, and you have to, be safe with it as best as you possibly can. Can you be perfect with it? Absolutely not. There will still be accidental discharges, just like there are still accidents with vehicles. Planes go down every once in a while. Cars get in wrecks every single day. So it always is something that would always happen. There is no way to totally eliminate gun violence in our country. Our country was founded on guns. It was founded with gun violence. We basically wiped out a whole race of people so that we could have this land. Facts. Period, point blank. So, or point blank period, that's it. But the point is that that's why it's here. It was founded like that, and we can't just erase that. It's just, that's the way that it is. So understand that and move forward from it. At the end of the day, you have to be able to realize where you were from and accept that past, and then move on to where you're trying to be. And we all want to be a better us, a better US of A, but we don't want to do it at the sacrifice of all of our rights, and we don't want to take all of our rights that we have as Americans in this country and just give it over to politicians who ain't doing nothing but going to the highest bidder. They are whores. It is what it is. I ain't mad at you because you're getting your money. Do your thing. But we don't want to give up our rights that we possess because we're scared. And the only way to overcome fear is you have to confront it. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, I had a few points about gun control. And if you guys got some questions or things like that, we can post them up. We can go through the chat after I go through these real quick. I wanted to talk about the gun control stuff, and I wanted to talk about the mass shootings. So everybody's been talking about this, and I was like, man, I really want to talk about it, but I want to come from a perspective of solutions. What can we do to make it better, to make it safer, to make us more responsible for what is going on in our country? And I think that it's a twofold thing. I think there is a responsibility piece for us as Americans, as civilians, as the people that live here in this great country. And in order for us to make it great again, we have to accept some responsibility for it. I also believe that our government needs to step up, and they need to accept responsibility, and they need to do some things and put some other resources and things like that in place for us to become better. That's what our government is here for. That is why we pay taxes. We pay taxes, and we elect government officials to take those things that we accumulate as wealth as a country and to distribute those for the welfare and well-being of the people. The wealth and the power that we bestow upon politicians, it is their job to distribute that power and those resources across the country. That's their job. So one of the first things that I would say is there needs to be, first and foremost, nationwide reciprocity with the CCW. So basically they need to take the CCWs that we all have, just like we have driver's license and all that stuff, and they need to make it across the board. The government, US of A, needs to have one. If you got a license, you good everywhere you go. And there needs to be a federal database, just like you have your driver licenses, just like you have your cosmetology licenses, whatever other licenses you carry, your voter registration card, all that kind of stuff, it's in a database. There needs to be a database. This whole thing of not having a database, not being able to know who got what, not being able to know who buying what, I'm not getting into that, because if I want to buy 10 guns or if I want to buy one, that ain't the government's business. However, if I am purchasing guns and if I'm going to own guns and be responsible for those guns, then yes, those guns need to be registered just like a vehicle, because at the end of the day, it's not about you having the guns or how many you have, but it does have something to do with where you putting them guns at. Because if I'm buying guns and they're not being registered, I can sell them to any and everybody, and that is not how it should be. I totally believe that. So I definitely want to say that would be first and foremost. You need to have a centralized database. You need to have it to where everybody has the same reciprocity. It's not no you can carry it here but can't carry it there. You can have it in this state, you can't have it in that state. So you need to do away with that. Nationwide reciprocity for everybody. There needs to be a database, and that database needs to be monitored for anybody that has a gun. You need to register your firearms. If you ain't doing shit shady with them, you wouldn't care if it's registered or not at the end of the day. Second of all, you need to have a CCW, concealed carry weapons license or permit, a nationwide training course with annual shooting qualifications. If you carry a gun, and you need to have some, there needs to be some type of qualification for you, just like you take a driving test. You need to go and shoot every year at some place. You need to go and take a safety course at some place, just so you know, because safety courses are always, it's not something that changes every day, but there are improvements that are made in safety courses. We learn how to do things better. We learn how to do things safer, and just meeting with other people and having feedback, having a class that's maybe, you know, 2 to 4 hours or something like that, that you got to go to once a year to get signed off on to keep your CCW. Absolutely. You got a whole year to do it. You know what I'm saying? And if then you go in, you do it on the weekends or whatever the case may be, hey, that's something that should definitely happen. And I think with the monies that we pay in taxes and the resources that we have for that kind of stuff, hey, we could definitely take care of that infrastructure, and the government needs to step up and supply that for us. So yeah, we talking about shooting qualifications and safety renewals. You have to do it in order to get a CCW anyway, so you should definitely have to shoot every year. Also, when it comes to, and just in another note on that, police officers shoot twice a year. We used to, when I was serving at the sheriff's department, I had to shoot twice a year. And me shooting twice a year, there was somebody that checked my gun, made sure I was keeping it clean, taking care of it, and all that good stuff. But we did a qualification shoot, and we also did a scenario shoot. So it would like alternate. So we would do things like have certain things set up to where we would go through and shoot in certain scenarios, like a grocery store or like a house or something like that, shooting from a car and things like that. And that was fun. But we still had to do that basic qualification where you stand on the gun line, boss. You stand on the gun line and you actually do your thing, and you shoot right there in that target at 3 feet, 7 feet, 12 feet, whatever the case may be, and they have you back up. You do the little lean and shoot and all that kind of stuff. You did that just to make sure that you were ready and that you were shooting your guns, because a lot of people get guns and they don't keep them clean. They don't shoot them often, and they don't exchange their ammo. You should be changing your ammo out like every 2 years. Ammo does last, and people will tell you that you don't, but you should, because you never know. You never know if you got a dud in there. You never know if you have a misfire, whatever the case may be. So you should definitely switch your ammo out every 2 years. Only violent and aggravated crime convicted felons are not allowed to carry or own a firearm. If I done beat my wife, if I done choked my son out, if I done fought my mama, if I done fought my daddy, if I done, robbed a liquor store, I don't need to carry a gun. I should not be able to legally have a firearm. It's just that simple. Now, if I went and I was 16 years old and I stole a bag of juicy fruit, a package of juicy fruit from the convenience store, that's a misdemeanor. So yes, I should still be able to go through the process and apply for a firearm, and I should be able to get it as long as I'm not crazy. So yes, you should. But if I'm a person, I'm known for beating my wife, I'm known for just being aggravated battery type of person, I whoop ass essentially, then no, I should not be able to carry a firearm, which is pretty much how it is now. I think it's just like if you got any felony though, you can't. Like if I was a money embezzler, if I embezzle $500,000 and I got a felony, I can't own a firearm. That's BS. At the end of the day, let's see next. If I'm on the terrorist watch list or I'm on the no-fly list, I should not be able to buy a gun. This is a fucking no-brainer. I don't know how they are still getting this wrong. This is just outright stupid. If I'm on the no-fly list and if I'm on the terrorist watch list, I should not be able to get a firearm. Plain and simple, simple and plain. We don't even need to discuss that any further. If I'm on that list, I don't need to be able to get a gun. And if I got a gun, they need to come and confiscate it until I'm off that list. Keep it at my local fire department in the evidence locker somewhere until it's done. And then, hey, once you're good, you cleared, you're all right, you get your gun back. Also, that's going to bring me to this next point. Some of y'all might not like this, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. You said who decides that, and who decides that? You want to take guns from people with depression and military vets with PTSD. Yes. Yes, now that is, then that, well, I'm going to get to that too, because there's a mental part too on that I'm going to go over. So the other part of this is foreigners, you have a 5-year wait list to own or carry a firearm. If you come over here from wherever and you are not, first of all, a U.S. citizen, you can't get a gun. And second of all, if you have not been clear, because in my opinion, if somebody comes over here from another country and they want to apply for citizenship or whatever, you get your citizenship. And these questions that y'all got, please just if you can't hold them, because I'm gonna try to scroll back, but in case I miss something, I don't want to do that. But if you are here, then hey, this is not your country, this is not your land. You want to become a part of it, you want to get in our gang, you got a 5-year wait list, because I believe that anything that you're gonna try to do, more than likely we could try to figure you out and see if you are gonna wind up on the terrorist watch list or wind up on the no-fly list or something like that before you get here. So, or if you are here, we can figure that out. Now, if you ain't got nothing to worry about, if you all good and you gonna check out, absolutely. But there needs to be some type of waiting period. Maybe 5 years is too long. I don't know, but there needs to be something, because if somebody just comes over here and they get them a firearm and they good to go, we don't know who they are, what their background was, what they did in their other home country, if they was kicked out or whatever the case may be. We don't know. So I think there needs to be some type of wait period to do that. I mean, just like how when we go over to other countries, if you traveled over to other countries, them cats over there, you don't want to go to jail in another country, because the way they treat you over there, you not getting that. Oh, I'm a U.S. citizen. You gonna be over there on the struggle bus, and you might not make it out. So if they can do their thing in their country, we should damn sure be able to do our thing in ours. Plain and simple. Let's see. Number 6 is people that have. Here we go. People that have any sign of mental disorder or a mental disorder should not, or mental illness, should not have a firearm, period, point blank. And in order for them to get one, they would have to be signed off from a mental health professional. Has to sign off from that. So like somebody mentioned the PTSD thing. If I come back from Iraq, I come back from Chirac, possibly. If I come back from overseas or I come back from war and I have PTSD, I have some mental stress, some mental disorders, I'm stressed out, I got PTSD, I got a problem, I absolutely should not be able to have my firearm, even though I was letting it ride over in Baghdad for the past 2 years. I definitely need to be able to be, I need to be evaluated by a mental health professional to say, well, you know what, I think that this guy is good. I don't think he's going to wild out. I don't think he's going to go off the deep end and let everybody, have it because he still think he's over in Iraq. I don't think that you should be able to do that. A mental health professional should have to sign off on you being able to carry your firearm, even if you are a vet. There are plenty of military vets, and salute to you guys. Thank you for your service. But there are many of those guys that come back home and they either don't seek treatment or they're not getting the proper treatment. They have med issues where they're giving them too much of this, too much of that, and they're trying to find their balance. And sometimes people can lose it in that time frame. That can be a very fragile point in their life. And if we're not there to support them properly by having enough resources available, by having enough mental health professionals available to help them, then we fail them at the end of the day for somebody who went and put their life on the line for us. That's exactly how I feel about that. Last but not least, as far as the gun control part is, there needs to be an 84-hour wait time on gun purchases. Why 84 hours? Because there are people that will purchase firearms and they will go out and do something stupid in the heat of the moment, in a time of high stress, issues and things like that that go on in their lives, and just be able to walk in and walk out with a pistol. I don't think everybody should be able to do that. If you gonna walk into a store and buy a gun, do the paperwork for it. If we got that database in there, that's more than enough time for your name to be checked out, to make sure that you good, for your registration and all that stuff to get put into the system, and now everything is good to go. You can do your thing, and hey, in 4 days you can come get your gun. It's just that simple. So it's like, that's my thing. I think there needs to be a wait time, because should nobody just be able to walk in and walk out of your Gander Mountains or your Cabela's and you pistoled up. It shouldn't be that. If there's something going on in your life where you got to get a pistol that fast, you need to get the authorities involved. It's just that simple. Let's see. Now, so that's pretty much my thing on gun control. Do anybody got any questions on that part? I guess we can do it that way, and then I'll do the mass shooting part. I hope I answered the oh, I did see something. I think that was D that put in there, should teachers be allowed to carry their guns? I got that answer coming up for you. on the mass shooting section. So let's see. Yeah, get them likes up, people. You know, it's so hard for me to really manage the show, because I get into the show once I start, and it's like, man, I just get to going, my mind is going, so I don't think about the little things. Like, I ain't even checked in on Facebook. I don't know what's happening over there. I hope it's good. I hope the stream is straight and ain't no problems. But if it ain't, I still got the recording so I can upload that if there is an issue. So should college students be able to carry? I think that if you going with this and a college student has gone through the process of being checked out mentally, actually being getting their CCW, and they're good and they've done their renewals and stuff, if you've had your pistol, I would say for at least a year, I would say no as a freshman. But sophomore, junior, senior, I absolutely think so. I think that freshmen, because they're coming right out of class, I mean, they're coming right out of high school, I think that there's that's a big transition, and there are a lot of pressures that go on with that. And not necessarily, I don't think that, you know, students will be committing suicide with a gun, but I think that carrying that gun and having that responsibility, I think that that's something that might be a little bit too much. And let me actually retract that. I'm going to say a junior. If your first 2 years in college, no, I would say no. There are too many things that you're doing. I think that there are too many things that's going on. I would say no. I think that there's a big responsibility when it comes to that, to carrying a gun, period. And I don't think that somebody that's in transition like that should be able to do it. So if you 18 when you graduate and start school, so I would say if you're about 20 years old, I would say that's cool. I would say that's cool to do, to be able to carry on, not to own a gun. I think you can own one, but to be able to carry one, and especially carrying one on campus. I've seen too many kids that are at a college age that do just stupid shit, grab ass, playing around, wrestling, diving on people, and I could just see somebody carrying a Glock out of a holster and got it in the back of their belt, and they buddy don't know it, and somebody comes and does something stupid, and you have an automatic accidental discharge. I would say no. So I would say, yeah, with that responsibility, being a little bit older in your 20s, I think that's cool. Should women carry? I think that carrying a firearm, the responsibility of owning a firearm and having a gun, I think that has nothing to do with gender. I think that any and everybody that can accept the responsibility of carrying a firearm should. I believe that there's a huge responsibility of knowing that I have in my hand or in my possession, on my hip, under my arm, on my thigh, in the small of my back, whatever the case may be. I think that having that responsibility, or in my purse, I think that having the responsibility of knowing that you can take a life, I believe that that is a huge responsibility, because it's not just about being ready for something. It's about putting yourself in situations to where your gun might get taken away from you. A lot of people don't think about that, but you might pull your gun in the wrong situation, and that gun can get taken away from you and get used on you. Having a gun and carrying that responsibility, you know, are you responsible enough to have that, to keep up with it? Can't tell you how many times people have. Let me explain this to you. So this is something that happens quite often. People go to the bathroom. They carry their gun on their hip. People go to the bathroom, and they going to drop a deuce. They going to do number 2. They take their gun off and set it in the stall on top of the toilet paper dispenser. Go ahead and do their business, get done, get their wipe game going, and get up and leave that gun sitting there. Happens quite often, more so than you think. That responsibility is still yours, because you leave that gun there. Then little Timmy comes in behind you, he sees that gun, now what? So it's like there are things like that happen, and I think that that's a huge responsibility that I think that you have to assume and be able to carry that. So if you can do that, using your gun to take a life, that's something you don't never want to do. People talk that shit all the time, saying, yeah, I do what I gotta do. If I gotta take a motherfucker, I'll take it. You don't ever want to take a life, because a lot of times people can't even bring themselves back from that. There are so many people that I know that have done that, and you see them being alcoholics. You see them just never ever being right with themselves. So I think that stuff you have to consider, and only you can really answer that question. It's like for me, do I carry my gun? Absolutely, all the time, everywhere I go, at a barbecue, in the church, in the bathroom, at wherever I can carry it, I'm carrying it. And with that responsibility, though, I'm always thinking about what if. I have a tactical mindset. I'm always thinking, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do there? What if this guy does this? What if this guy does that? I'm always thinking like that because of the responsibility that I'm carrying. So it's like you have to make sure that you're okay with that and that you're able to do that. Because there's some people that carry that gun every day, and then if something happens, they can't even bring themselves to pulling it. Then what are you really carrying it for? So that's just my 2 cents on that. So when it comes to just the whole concept of just the mass shooting and the solution. So we talk about mass shootings all the time. We have, whether it's 5 people or whether it's 55 people. We've had that range of number go from, 4 people here at an office. And what was that? I can't even remember the total that it was in Vegas. When those people that died in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so I think that the whole thing, the active shooter piece to that, there's always going to be mass shootings. It is something that will never stop. It is something that has happened since the beginning of the establishment of our country. So it's happening more frequently, and because of things like social media, they are definitely heard about and they are publicized a whole lot more than they've ever been. But they have always happened. Since the 1800s, there have been mass shootings. So you have to accept that fact to say, well, this is something that's going to happen. How do we stop it? And you have to make it relative to something like automobile accidents. How many people die, not have, but die in automobile accidents every year? To Google that number, it's I'm sure that it's quite high. There are plenty of people that die in automobile accidents every single year. Do we stop driving? No, we don't. We try to make vehicles more safe, we try to make drivers more aware, and we try to make the road safer. There are plenty of roads in our country that people have driven on and have had accidents on and have died from because the road was designed wrong. The road wasn't conducive to driving conditions, and it took years for that stuff to change. So it's always something that's going to happen. We didn't just say we got to get on vehicle control and we got to stop these people from driving. Too many people driving. That's why who would buy a car that goes 85 miles an hour? That's the type of mentality that people want to have with gun control, and you can't think like that, because what you're doing is you're not doing anything but you are weakening yourself as a society. If you can't be better than your technology, if you can't make your technology work for you to where it's serving your people, then you are doing yourself a disservice. You are putting yourself in a situation to where you are becoming a slave to the powers that be, and you don't want to do that, because then once you start taking away rights, once you start taking and making laws to stop you from doing this and doing that, then there's no end to it. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about the NRA, but I understand why the NRA goes so hard. They go so hard because, number one, they're really the only big company or big entity that is able to actually take on, that has the financial backing to take on the lobbyists and the gun control lobbyists and all those things. They have resources for that, and that's why they go so hard. They don't even want the Second Amendment to even be talked about. Don't talk about infringing nothing at the end of the day. And I understand that position. But it's up to the people to say, well, we have to do things that are more sensible and that make sense for us as a whole. And just taking away all the guns, that ain't gonna do it. Excuse me. And a hole in my mouth. All right. So one of the first things I talk about with just mass shooting solutions is, number one, the government needs to add more mental health resources across the country. 9 times out of 10, that person that does the mass shooting, that active shooter, he has lost it. He's lost his mind. He's lost touch of reality. There has been some thing that has happened to him, and not necessarily instantaneously, but over a period of time, that has driven him to the point to where he's acting weird, he's acting crazy, and now he wants to act out and take out his frustrations on society. And he does that because he knows he's going to get recognition for it. He knows he's going to be remembered for it. And he thinks that that's admirable. I want the attention. I want the fanfare. I want my name in the history books. And that's why I do that. And for somebody to think that way, then they have a mental illness. They are not mentally healthy. So there needs to be counseling, psychiatrists. They need to have mental health professionals that are around, because a lot of people talk about these active shooters. You never hear like, man, we never thought the guy would have done that. There's always Facebook videos. There's always YouTube videos. There's always people saying, well, I heard him saying this and I heard him saying that. Well, we told the faculty, we told the police, and nobody doesn't do anything because they don't have the resources for it. If I'm a police officer and I get a call and says, yeah, this guy said that he feel like shooting people sometimes, the only thing I can do as a police officer is do what we call a temperature check. And that's just basically going to talk to the dude to see if he's going to wild out or wig out in front of me. If he doesn't, if he keeps his cool, there's nothing I can do. He hasn't broken any laws. My job as a police officer is to uphold and enforce the law. If he hasn't broken any laws, there's nothing I can do about it. I have no evidence. There's nothing I can do about it. So you have to have those mental health professionals in place as resources for these people to talk to, because they absolutely can talk them off the ledge. And if they can't, they can actually say, well, hey, we need to put this guy in a home. He needs to come and spend some time in a mental institution to where we can actually work on him. He needs ongoing care so that we can get him straightened out. A lot of people that were in mental institutions were actually literally kicked out because of the loss of funding for them, which is because of our government officials. They felt, well, hey, we're going to cut this and we're going to cut that, and we're going to put these people out here on the streets. That's it, and that's all. So I definitely think that's first and foremost. That's the government piece. Also, the government needs to provide licensed, federal and state co-funded armed safety officers to police school grounds and to be responsible for active shooter safety plans and protocol execution. So what does that mean? They need to have armed police officers in each school, one in each school. If you can get a principal, a vice principal, a dean of students, a disciplinarian, a janitor, an engineer, you can get all these people in these schools. If you care about your children, you can get you a police officer in there. One police officer with a handgun and a rifle in his own little office. It ain't got to be big. He got his own little office with his own little locker where he keep his stuff locked up at. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to somebody being able to respond to a situation like that, you need to have an officer there to do so. Not waiting those 4 minutes for the police to get there. Too many lives can be lost in that instance. Also, what that does is that puts a police presence in the school on a consistent basis. Every day people will see Mr. Redmond walking around with his handgun on, with his school, polo, whatever you want to call it, or his federal, whatever, uniform, whatever. Ain't got to be nothing real crazy, but just something decent that shows, hey, this guy is a tactical looking guy. He has a law enforcement presence in the school on the premises. Because what that's going to do is that's going to deter the active shooter. Because they know, yeah, if I bring this gun to school and somebody tell and Mr. Redmond find out, he gonna come kick my ass and take this gun. If I decide to shoot the school up on next Tuesday, I know Mr. Redmond gonna be there. He gonna pull out that badass AR-15 and he gonna shoot back at me. So I don't want that. I'm not trying to do that. And those things will definitely make a difference. If I'm the school safety officer and I'm at this school, I know what kids are trouble kids. I know the kids that are the crazy kids or the misfits or the outcasts. I know those kids. The kids that are there, they will tell me instantly, yeah, Robert said he's gonna shoot up the school. Robert said he feel like killing people sometimes. I just want to let you know, Mr. Redmond. So I know I can now keep my eye out on this kid. So if this kid that says he's gonna do something to somebody, and he gets suspended, if I see him at the school a week from now and I know, hey, boy, you're supposed to be at home, I'm going to come and approach him and I'm going to tell him, hey, look, man, you're not supposed to be here. You're suspended. And if I catch you up here after today, I'm going to come at you and it's going to be ugly. You're going to jail. Plain and simple. It's just that simple. Having that school safety officer that is armed. I'm not talking about somebody with a radio who got a hotline phone and 911. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about the police officer that drives around to the school one day a week and all he do is come to the front door, sign a book, and hit on the person who watching the door, the hallway monitor, and then he go leave to go get his sleep on. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a dude that is in the school Monday through Friday when the kids are there. He's there and he's walking around that school as a presence for law enforcement. He has a gun. He is trained. He got to go shoot. I ain't talking about some Bob security guard. I'm talking about a real police officer that is networked with other police officers in the state. They all have this same little crew where these guys go. And if they making a decent wage, you'll have plenty of people that would do that. You have plenty of people that would do that. Ex-military. You have ex-police officers, retired military. There are plenty of people that would love to do that because it's in a more relaxed setting and they are trained. They don't have to, I mean, you talking about a 6-hour or 7-hour day, you know what I'm saying, or 8-hour day if you want to call it that, that's fine. But they're in a much more relaxed setting as opposed to taking calls all day being a police officer or being in a war zone as a military soldier. So it's like you have a much more relaxed setting. You still are trained and you are networking. You talking with kids. You helping kids out. You know, you can that even will help encouraging kids being enrolled in the military. That helps them being recruited for law enforcement. All those type of things. It's a great opportunity to bridge that gap between law enforcement and young kids, because even with young kids, they don't know how to deal with a lot of law enforcement officers, and most of the time when they do, they doing it at the wrong time because they done fucked up and did something bad. So now you have a police presence. You have a person who is not some teacher who can't get cussed out, who can get cussed out by a parent and say, I had your job. I'm a federal agent, ma'am. You can't have my job. Plain and simple. Principal don't have nothing to do with me. Principal ain't my boss. That's what I'm talking about. So you have that police presence. You have a well-trained person that's there that can help save somebody, because when it comes down to it, he would be a first responder. When you're talking about active shooters, you're talking about police officers, that person would be an active first responder, because he's on site when the event happens. And he can react quicker than the police can that gets the call from dispatch and got to make his way over there. Even though he only 8 blocks away or 9 blocks, but he's still on the outside trying to get in. When I could be that officer that's on the inside looking out. I could have seen that kid up on the hill somewhere shooting, or I could have seen that kid in the parking lot shooting, and I could have got my rifle and shot back at him. Because that was my last point too, and I'm going to come back and hit that again. Because in my opinion, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. So, let's see, what else? All licensed CCW permit holders should be able to only conceal carry at work. So yes, I believe somebody mentioned that earlier. If you have a CCW and you got your training and all that kind of stuff, and you want to carry your gun at work, I absolutely think you should be able to do that, especially when you're working with the public. Because at the end of the day, if somebody does something, if something happens at your job and you want to be able to, I absolutely think that you should be able to do that. I think that you should be able to do, to be able to protect yourself. Not saying that you're responsible for everybody there, but you should be able to protect yourself if something was to happen and some type of mass shooter or active shooter came out at a building or where you work. So I just believe that. I believe that number 4, end all gun-free zones, because those are the targets for active shooters. That's like the terrorist watch list thing. There should be no gun-free zone. Because if I'm a person and I want to shoot up a school, I'm going to go where there ain't no guns. I'm going to go where there's no opposition. Active shooters are cowards. The only reason why they're doing it is because they want to get their number up. That's it, and that's all. They want to get that number up. So an active shooter that goes to shoot up a school, that goes to shoot up a basketball game, that goes to shoot up a church, that goes to shoot up a post office, that goes to shoot up, they are doing it because they're gun-free zones. They know there's no opposition there. So it's basically like shooting ducks, fish in a barrel. I'm just sitting there picking them up, bam, bam. I ain't got to worry about nothing coming back at me. until I hear police sirens or I see police lights. It's that simple. So my number 5 would be realize that police cannot save us. They only can assist us as civilians or the people that are on site as the first responders. That's what I was saying before. The people that are the true first responders to an active shooter incident are the people that are there that haven't been shot. Plain and simple. You are a first responder. You are a person that is there. You are a person that is actually on site in the moment while things are happening. You see everything in a dynamic aspect to where it's going on right now. That's what you're doing. So with that being said, you can't expect the police to save you. If it takes that police 2 minutes or if it takes them 8 minutes to get there, it's not the police officer's fault. Because at the end of the day, you need to have those type of resources available and on site to be able to combat that. Number 6, realize that mass shootings will continue to occur until they realize that there is opposition awaiting them. Active shooters are cowards. So it's like basically just saying know that active shooter situations, mass shootings will continue to happen until people start to realize, or those cowards that do it, realize that there is somebody anywhere that they try to go that could potentially have a gun to shoot back at them and to stop them. They will continue to do it because they want easy targets. They don't want a challenge. That's why you never have a mass shooting at a gun store. That's why you will never have a mass shooting at a police station. That's why you will never have a mass shooting at a shooting range. It ain't gonna happen. Because at the end of the day, if I walk into a police station and I say, I'm gonna kill everybody because I'm crazy, I might get 2 rounds off. And that's might. I may get 2 rounds off. Because after that first one, that bang, everybody going to say, whoa. And they going to see that I'm about to aim somebody else. And then they going to hit me with about 39, 49, 59, 69 bullets. Plain and simple. So it's like you have to keep that in mind to say that when you are thinking about those things, you're thinking about those people, what these people do, their mindsets, at the end of the day, whatever their manifesto is, whatever the videos that they have, I hate black people and I'm going to kill me some niggas, or I hate the people of the world. They've always talked about all of those people that go and do these acts. They are cowards and they go shoot where there's no opposition. That's what they do. So realize that when, like, and this goes back to my last point, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. When people realize that, hey, maybe, just maybe, this guy may be carrying too, I'm more inclined to not want to pull my gun. I'm more inclined to not want to shoot somebody because nobody wants to be in a gunfight. Plenty of people want to shoot guns, but don't nobody want to be in a gunfight. And when you have that possibility of that happening, it puts your minds in a whole different perspective. When you the only person with a gun, you the baddest motherfucker in the room. Hands down. That's your confidence level. I got the pistol up here. I got the piece. When everybody got a gun, it seems like everybody's polite. You never hear people arguing at a gun range, do you? You never hear people getting into it at a gun range. Everybody's polite. Everybody's cool. Everybody's nice. Hey, how's it going? What you shooting today? Oh, man, I saw that grouping you did. Everybody's cool. When you're at the gun store, everybody's cool. You don't see police officers arguing at the job. God damn it, I told you I didn't want to pull that person. You don't see that. Everybody's polite when everybody has a gun. And not to say that everybody should have a gun, but when you know that it's common knowledge that, hey, you might have a gun, I might have a gun, let's not find out. Let's just be cool. Let's be nice to each other. Let's be cordial. We all, at the end of the day, are Rodney Kings. We just want to get along. So if everybody has that ability to have a gun wherever they go, I think that people would be a lot less inclined to do active shooters. They will be a lot less inclined to do mass shootings because they don't want the opposition. They just don't want it. Even when they show statistically, when active shooters are walking through buildings, they don't even shoot the locks off of doors most of the time. They don't. They try a door, they can't get in, they're down to the next one. Why? Because they want the least path of resistance. They want the path of least resistance. They want to go where it's easy. If I can just open this door and shoot, cool. If I can open that door and shoot, cool. People just standing outside because I done pulled the fire alarm and now they just outside sitting out there and I can just pick them off, cool. I will do that. But I don't want to go hunting. Active shooters don't want to hunt. Active shooters don't want confrontation. That's why when they get caught, they usually kill themselves or they do the, what do they call it? Death, suicide by cop. That's usually what they do. So, that's my spiel. Hey, Dwayne, what's your you saying your argument is fault to a point. What's the deal, man? Talk to me. They are there for fun. You cannot be so dogmatic about the issue. Man, let me see here. Dwayne, do you want to call in, sir? Or yeah, do you want to call in, man? Because I think that would be awesome, although I would like to do it myself. I don't know what you mean with that one. I have to work full time. I don't know what that means. You are talking for the crazy. You would. All right, look, check this out. Let's do this. I am going to... Is there anybody else that would want to call in? Because I think I can do this one off phone call, but I would have to actually set up the lines if I'm going to do more than one. So if there's anybody else that would want to call in, then I would set up the lines. If it's just Dwayne that want to call in, I think I can pull off a rabbit trick here. So, all right, let's do this. Dwayne, I'm gonna put my number to the my website number here, which is, what is my number? Oh snap, is it 9? I think that's it. Let me see. Hold on. Change is coming. Hold on. Everything will be all right. Hold on. You can make it. Hold on. Yeah. All right. So check this out. Is that right? Yep, that is right. I was right. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm going to do it like this because I don't want no damn trolls to troll me, even though this ain't my number. This is my other number. So, yeah, let's do that. Dwayne, email me at this. Yeah, UGOA1791@gmail.com. And then I will send you this number to call. And let's open this up. Yeah. Pete the Pirate says, how did you talk to your kids about this issue? How did I or how do I? Are you talking about kids that are like in school? If you're talking about just kids that are in school, I mean, at the end, and this is one of the reasons why I said there needs to be some type of law enforcement officer in the school, because you really can't prepare yourself or prepare your kids to deal with an active shooter. You can go through the training thing and to know, I mean, because here's the thing with the training. The training is basically broken down into 3 things: run, hide, fight. All right, that's pretty much your active shooter training mentality. You run if you can run, which is get out of the building, get away from the active shooter. Is the first thing. You can hide if you can hide somewhere. Actually, you know, bunker yourself in or blockade yourself, barricade yourself in. You do that. And then last but not least, if you have no other alternative, you fight. And basically that's you going for what you know, trying to, survive essentially. So it's like when you have that that mentality, what does my 12-year-old, my 13-year-old, my 8-year-old kid do in that situation? There's nothing for you to really do. And it's like, yeah, you could try to run, you could try to hide, but it's like, as far as just, my thing is this, the survival aspect of it. If I want my kid to survive, then it's like, that's gonna be something that's gonna be like, well, damn, I don't see my kid being in that position to where they can just make it out of that because of an active shooter. You have no clue. Like those kids at the high school, you know what I'm saying? Them being in a situation to where they were, they were at the school, and then
critical alert from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Your computer has alerted us that it is infected with a virus and spyware. This virus is sending your credit card details, Facebook login, and personal emails to hackers remotely.
Right. I'm a computer technician, homie. I don't get viruses. But anyway, you really can't. So it's like, what do? You have to just basically hope for the best. And my thing is, it's like, I don't want to hope for the best for my children. I want them to have the best opportunity to survive. And the best way to do that would be to have a person there that can actually be there to defend themselves and to defend that school. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like, this person that's in this school is going up against a militia. He's going up against usually one guy. He said, stay out them porno sites. You a hater. No, man, I was trying to get to this email. There we go. I see you, Dwayne. And then we're going to reply. Yeah. All right. But yeah, it's like, that's what you just in that situation to where you are like pretty much at that person's mercy, unless you have somebody there that can actually, fight back. And if you got somebody there that can fight back, then that person can actually do something. That person has that opposition. And even still, with that fight back aspect, I think that having a armed person, a legit armed person in that school, I think that would curb mass shootings as far as schools go. It is like, I think it would drastically decline, because there would be a person there to oppose the shooter. And I think that when was the last time you heard of an active shooter walking? The only one that I can even think of right now is the Walmart shooter. The guy that came into the Walmart. Him and his girl, they came into Walmart and they went through their active shooter thing, and they went ahead and started, shooting people. And the guy who was a citizen who didn't go for it, didn't know what to do, he actually got taken out by the dude's wife.
Call from.
Hello, this is Dwayne Holmes.
All right.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Dwayne, can you hear me?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Shit. Damn it. Call me right back, Dwayne. My bad. I fucked that up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do too much here. Yeah. I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. I was having too much fun. Charlie Murphy. All right, there we go. I wanted to end the stream on Facebook because it's telling me that I'm dropping frames. So I wanted to get that up out of there. Hopefully that would help me. Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that, Dwayne. If you can call me back, good buddy. I thought I had you. All right, cool. But but just finishing up with that school thing, I think that's pretty much what we're faced with. So it's like, I want my kid, I would want my kid to have the best opportunity possible of surviving. I'm not trying to say, well, if we got rid of all of the AR-15s, it would be all right. That's not being realistic. Because if you banned all of the AR-15s, what would you then do? Would you say, well, we done banned all the AR-15s except for the illegal ones? And that's why I put that thumbnail up about saying, okay, so now you banned all the guns to where the law-abiding citizens can't get them, but those that want to commit those crimes, they absolutely gonna buy them. Black market, the hood, go to the streets, hit a freight, whatever the case may be. It's like they had a freight hit in Chicago a couple of years ago where they stole something like 50 AR-15s off of a train. How that happened? Who knows, first of all, on a freight train, which car has these AR-15s? Who knows what time this train just so happened to be in the freight yard, resting, I guess, if you will. Hold on here, let me make sure I do this right.
Call from.
This is Dwayne Holmes.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
There we go. Dwayne?
Yeah, this me.
Cool. Can y'all hear Dwayne?
Oh, let me turn this down.
Let's see. You got to turn down. You got to turn the show.
I did.
The show.
I did.
Okay. And then hopefully the people will let me know if they can hear. Can y'all hear Dwayne and myself? I know y'all can hear me, but can y'all hear Dwayne? Let me know if I need to turn him up or turn him down, whatever the case may be. Let me actually. Y'all can hear him? Cool. All right, brother Dwayne.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I just see the danger of putting a whole bunch of guns in the school system like that, and I think that the amount of people there, I think that there needs to be smaller class sizes and smaller places for people to go to. And the only way to make sense is for people to educate their own children.
So are you saying like doing like a homeschool type of thing?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Smaller sizes. You know, neighborhood schools.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about small neighborhood schools. You know.
So how many kids you talking to a class? Like 6 or 8 or something?
Maybe I think that's the only way. That's the only way that it could be feasible to do it that way. You know, people in a block or a neighborhood like that. You know, because you know the whole point is people are going to places where people are masked up.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse as this goes along. So everybody got guns. Everybody going to be shooting. It's going to be the Wild Wild West again.
Well, when you think about the Wild Wild West, the Wild Wild West was about it was about something just being a free for all. I think that with the structure that we have in our society now, I think that with the things we have in place, I don't think it would be perfect, but I think it would be a lot more doable than the way that things are now. Because now we basically have two sides: you're either pro gun or you're against guns. And people that are pro guns want to take away all the guns.
I'm with a gun. I want to get a gun. I got a gun. Trust me, I got a shotgun.
Okay.
You know, I don't have to. You know, I got a shotgun. So if somebody come to my house, if somebody threaten me coming to my house, I'm gonna shoot them through the door.
Okay. Were you homeschooled?
No.
So you public school, private school?
Public school.
Okay. So public school. You being in that public school, and the way that you grew up in that public school, did you? Was there ever a thought that you had of an active shooter or somebody coming into that school and shooting up the school?
Dude, I done had people get shot right outside the school. They had shootings outside of Beach High School for many a time.
Okay. So those people that got shot at the school, you saying that if they was at home, that they wouldn't be in a situation where that could happen, or they just wouldn't be in a school setting where it could happen? Because
my thing is they're not going to, you know.
Huh?
No, I'm saying that this situation of having a whole bunch of unarmed people crowded in one area is a bad idea, especially in these days and times, because you don't know how many children, who, what child. It's a whole bunch of variables. And the only way you can control the variables is control your situation.
Okay, so if we do homeschooling, then what happens when we want to go to a baseball game?
Well, my thing is internet. Watch it on the TV. You know, I can't call out every situation, but I know that OK Corral is not going to be, you know, too good for everybody. You know.
So let me ask you this. Based on your logic, if you're saying that if we were to homeschool, that would make things better, that would be a possible solution.
Well, my thing is it'll be a possible solution for an immediate danger.
Okay.
And my thing is going into the future, alienating your child out of a situation that might go wrong and try to make certain plans for the future, because one or two things are going to happen. They're going to make the schools jails, or they're going to arm every person in the school.
Okay, and see, here's my thing to that. If here's why I think it's flawed, because you would then want to apply that same concept to driving. There are more people that die that die in automobile accidents. So what should we say?
I'm not saying.
Everybody start driving horses. Everybody start taking the bus. It's like you won't. There is no end to it, and just saying that people being homeschooled. Yes, it's gonna minimize or mitigate the whole school shooting aspect, but there won't be a safety aspect as opposed to it being public. The only reason why people are shooting up schools is because nobody in the school has a gun. Nobody does.
No, they shoot at school because something that went wrong in that person's head.
So why would
they feel alienated.
So why
they feel alienated.
Why wouldn't I just go shoot up random people?
Well, Timothy McVeigh did that.
He did what?
He went to the FBI building. He went to the FBI building. He went at the people who got guns.
Okay, and what did he do though?
But I'm just saying, you making that's why I said your premise is kind of flawed, because the only thing that people understand is hurt and pain.
You said the only thing that people understand is what?
They go after what causes them pain.
What causes them pain? That's
being left out, being alienated, being things. I think that the first thing that needs to be done with a whole bunch of people need to get psychiatrists.
Okay, well, we talked about that already. What you got, like something going on in the background that's kind of making it a little difficult to hear you sometimes.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can change this around. Hold on one second.
Okay. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
All right, hold on.
Oh, while he's doing that, I guess my thing.
Yeah, I got you. I'm here.
Oh, okay,
I'm
cool.
here.
That's good. That sounds way better.
I just had to change. I changed my speaker setup.
Oh,
okay, I got smooth speakers and everything like that.
Well, let me say this. I think that the idea of eliminating certain aspects of our society, I don't think that works, because there was a time where, because at the end of the day, you have people that are going to do things, and they're going to do things for whatever reason they deem it be, whether they're mentally stable or not. They're going to do those things. However, the premise in which they do those things is one thing. How they carry it out is something that does take some type of planning. It's not like somebody just snaps and goes outside their house in their robe and starts shooting people. That's one thing. For somebody to actually calculate and say, I'm going to go to this school, I'm going to pull the fire drill, because the fire alarm, because I know people are going to come out of that school, and then I'm going to let loose, not just on the person that did something to me or hurt my feelings or broke my heart. I'm going to start picking off everybody. The Dylan Roof kid, he went and sat in a church, and he sat there the entire service for Bible study. And after Bible study was done, he then pulled out his gun and started shooting people because he knew they were easy targets. And those people did nothing to him. So he did that just for the sheer premise of saying, I know these black folks up in here in this Baptist church ain't got no guns and no Bible study, because it's a bunch of old people in here. So let me finish. So that's why he did that. Now, had there been a culture of people carrying guns in church, like at my church, like at the churches I'm hearing people doing more often, then he would not have been inclined to go there, because Dylan Roof could have went to a party. Dylan Roof could have went to any other event, somebody's barbecue, somebody whatever. He could have went there, but he didn't, because there was a chance. Not saying that there was, but there was a chance of him having opposition. That's my only thing.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a gun. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm not saying anything about taking away somebody's rights. But I'm thinking about, you know, this is the Tower of Babel situation where they says when you got a whole bunch of human beings, you're gonna have issues.
Yeah, I get that part. All I'm saying is there has to be some type of equalizer, because I think that we're trying to find a solution to a problem, and we're trying to find it by eliminating or changing something or taking away this or adding that or putting this there and that and that place. And I think that there, first of all, in order to find balance, you have to level the playing field. Yeah. That's just like when you're talking about race relations.
No, you just got to make your own. You got to make your own field.
How can you make your own field in society?
But my thing is that's why you got city and country. You know, you move away from big, massive human beings, and you talk on, you know,
So you talking like going, like living off the grid, doing your own thing.
Not living off the grid. It's not living off the grid. It's not living off the grid.
Okay.
You move away from mass populated places into more rural areas.
Like the people in what was that? What part of Texas was that where they had the Texas church shooting? That wasn't highly populated.
I hear you. But
that's all I'm saying. I mean,
you can't. My thing is, you trying to eliminate crazy, but there's always gonna be crazy somewhere.
Right. Exactly.
There's always gonna be crazy somewhere. And my thing is, your scenario with arming everybody in a less dense place would work.
I'm not even saying to arm everybody. I'm saying those that want to be armed shouldn't have any type of opposition aside from, like I said, being mentally unstable. They shouldn't have any hoops they have to jump through to be armed wherever they go. That's what I'm saying.
Cool.
So if I'm at a baseball game or I'm in my front living room, I'm in my living room of my house, I should have that same freedom to protect myself, because that at the end of the day is what's on the line. My ass is on the line every time I leave my house and even when I come to my house. So I should have the same rights and ability to protect myself, because at the end of the day, the only person that is responsible for my safety ultimately is me. The police aren't even responsible for my safety.
True.
So why can't I have why can't I have the tools to protect myself? Is my thing.
I'm not fighting against that.
Whether I'm in a school or whether I'm in a church or whether I'm at a party or a barbecue, I need to be able to have those tools wherever I go. And I'm saying if I'm a teacher and I have the ability to carry a firearm, I don't think that makes a difference or that creates a bigger problem. I think it gives not just myself a chance, but it could possibly give someone else a chance to live, as opposed to saying everybody died because nobody had a gun to even let a shot go back at this person.
Why don't they merge the police department around the schools?
Exactly. That was one of the things I said. If you have a funded police officer that is not just that is
no. I'm not talking about just at every school. Why don't they put the police station around the school?
What do you mean? Like you saying like having where the police are going by the schools and stuff like that?
Yeah, something like that. You know, make the patrols more or whatever like that. But my thing is, at the end of the day, you're making the schools a jail. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
How are you making the school a jail by just having a law enforcement officer in the school?
I'm not telling you. That's your premise. That's your premise. That's what you think. You're saying one law officer. But my thing is, if you want to totally secure everything, why don't you just put the police around the school? And now your children gonna be feeling like, you know. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you got to extrapolate out.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say to put the police in the school like that, where you got 5 officers walking around the school. I'm not saying that. I'm saying having a police officer in the school for the sheer purpose of being somebody who would be there if something happened, and not just in an active shooter or mass shooting situation. What if a parent brings a gun to school? How many parents have jumped on teachers? How many parents have jumped on principals? How many times has that happened? There have been parents that have come up to schools and jumped on students.
And I agree.
So the only thing you don't need a police force necessarily.
So to eliminate that, lessen the class size, lessen the student size, lessen everything.
Well,
bring it back down to
15
basics.
or 25 in a classroom. An ignorant parent is an ignorant parent. I can't do anything.
Yeah, but you'll at least eliminate to that one 10 group of students.
If I'm in a classroom of 6 and Jamal Clavius mama come up to the school and want to fight me because I told Jamal Quavius he needs to make sure he has his homework done instead of playing his video game, and his mama's pissed off about it, it don't matter how many kids are in that classroom. I still got to fight Jamal Quavius' mama.
Yeah, but my thing is in that situation where you got that one child, that 6 children, and you got that one parent, they might come in there with a gun, and you got a gun. And then my thing is, at the end of the day, it's only going to be maybe 7 people dead.
Okay,
instead of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20.
I'm not trying to focus on the number because I don't think that
but one person in the
school. Well, hold on. I don't think one person carrying a gun in the school is going to eliminate or minimize the number. What I'm saying is, knowing where these people are, it minimizes the whole opposition. It minimizes the whole confrontation. It minimizes the whole attack.
And that was my point. And that was my point, that your argument is only one-sided.
Well, you saying one-sided? Okay, well,
it's only one-sided. You saying that's the only solution?
No, I'm not. It's a myriad of solutions. I'm saying that it's going to create a culture to help minimize the situation. I can't even if it's. I
really don't think it'll minimize. One Bonnie Five with somebody that's been tortured and tormented or whatever like that. He might set the police up and get you before you even go into the school.
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you can't. So I'm saying what I'm telling you is that there's no way to minimize it to where it's not gonna happen. Whether you got 5 kids. Or
you can.
What I'm saying. Okay. Well, here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: if you have a police presence, people tend to not challenge that type of authority when it comes to mass shootings. That's all I'm saying.
It depends. And my thing is, it depends on who you talking about.
If you look at, I'm talking about the facts. If you look at the numbers, when you look at the mass shootings, where do they happen? They happen in schools, and they happen in churches, and they happen
mass shootings. But mass shootings ain't been going down like that until it's only becoming more prevalent now because everybody want to be famous. Everybody want to be infamous now. And TV and networking and all that stuff like that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying they're becoming more prevalent now because the media puts so much attention on it, and people think that's the way they can get their 50 minutes of fame. It's an ego-driven thing.
And in the most recent ones, barring Las Vegas, the most recent ones, all the way back to the ones that were back in the 1800s, 1891, I think was the first one. You go back that far, they all happen in jobs, schools, and churches. Yeah. They didn't happen at Ray and them party. It didn't happen at the gun range. It didn't happen where people carry firearms. It always happens somewhere where there's no police presence.
I hear you, but my thing is, if somebody felt slighted at the gun range, did it happen at the gun range?
When was that mass shooting at the gun range?
I'm just saying, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Until then, stop. Because that's what I'm saying. Until somebody got the balls to go shoot up a gun.
I'm trying to tell you.
At a gun range.
Oh my God! You're gonna run down the line with this one.
No, I said until somebody goes and do that, the numbers that I'm saying for the facts that I'm saying, the facts support my statement. That's what
All
I'm
right.
saying.
Well, my thing is, your facts is only one sided. Just because it ain't happened, don't mean it won't happen.
Exactly, and that's to say with anything. But what I'm telling you is that as far as being able to curb mass shootings, as far as part of the solution to curb it,
And the only way
I
to
already
curb
said
mass
it would
shootings
never
is
stop.
not have a mask.
You said
Not
what?
have a mask. Not have a mask.
Not have a what?
Not have a mask that people could come to. And those places where you do have a mask, have the protection around that mask. That's how you stop it.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I just disagree with it because of the fact
hear
that I
you.
got to support what I'm saying as far as
I
not
hear-
something that
I
would happen
agree.
or that could
There
eventually
you go.
happen. I'm saying
So,
based
because
on the
you-
premise
you're-
and the
you're
history of how
driving-
things have
you're
happened
driving the
over the
point.
past at least 80 years, this is
I
what
hear
has
you.
been happening, and it has never
And-
happened in this aspect. So if you had
Uh-huh.
something like that in place, that would very well potentially bring down your mass shootings from maybe 8 a year to maybe 1. And if it did
Yeah.
that, I think it would be worth it. Or
And
if it
homeschooling
changed
would
the
do that.
venue
And homeschooling would do
altogether.
that. And homeschooling should do that. Would do that. Until they come up with a better system, homeschooling would do that.
Well, if
My
if
thing
there
is
was
how.
infrastructure in place to support that, you may have a point. But
But they do have the infrastructure. But they do have the infrastructure. Computers.
How can you? Okay, so you. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but
I'm serious. I'm serious.
I get what you're saying, man. I understand it.
It'll be easier. It will be very easy for you to gonna get your whole schooling. My brother, for instance, he raised all his children in the homeschool. All of them.
Your brother raised all of his children at home.
Yes.
Okay, he homeschooled all of his children.
Yes.
Okay, does he live in the city or does he live in the country or where does he live?
He's in the city.
Okay, so he lives in the city.
It's a
What's
choice.
his profession?
He was a barber.
Okay, so he was a
You know,
barber.
just like I'm a barber. Yeah.
Okay, so he was a barber. Does he have a wife?
Yes.
Okay, does she work?
Yes.
Okay,
I think she works too.
you think she works or she does work?
No, I'm just saying I don't be up in my brother's business like
All
that
I'm saying-
because he kind of standoffish.
Okay, all right. All I'm saying is that how many people have jobs because being a barber, you basically your own boss. But how many people have jobs to where they can afford to not necessarily homeschool their kids and to be able to monitor that process to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing from the ages of what age you going to school? 5?
It
to
depends.
18?
It depends on what you hold dear. Do you hold having the best car dear, or you hold the survival of your child
What
dear?
I hold dear and what the reality of what I'm able to do is two different things. If I'm a lawyer, I can't work. If I'm a lawyer, I can't work from home. If I'm a truck driver, what? Just that to hell with my job? I can't drive truck.
No,
It's like I care about my kids.
Hey,
I do also know that my kids have to have the bare necessities.
Hey, well, my thing is get a wife. Get a wife so you can stay home while you're on the road.
My
with
wife
kids.
died in a car accident. So now what am I supposed to do? My wife
You
died
have to
in a
make
mass
a-
shooting. So now what do
Well,
I
you
do?
know, all these things have to be planned out.
Exactly.
You
Okay,
trying to
you
don't
can't
make
plan
it seem-
for an active
you-
shooter.
you-
My wife got
Oh,
killed in
hold
the
on.
grocery store from an active shooter. I got 4 kids at home.
You could eliminate.
How do I homeschool when I'm a truck driver?
You could pull it. You trying to make a asinine.
What I'm getting right, because what I'm giving you is the reality of
No, you
everybody's
trying to make-
situation. You saying,
you
well,
bombard-
everybody just
you
take the
bombard-
kids and go
you
home
bombard
and
me with
school from
every
home.
possible
Everybody can't afford
scenario
to do that.
to try to
Hell,
make
I
your
see what
point.
does. Everybody can't even
That's not
afford
fair.
computers.
That's not fair. You can't give me a whole bunch of red herrings.
It's
and
not
all
about
gonna
being
think
fair.
we
It's
the
about
truth.
being logical.
Yeah, you
To
are.
tell everybody to
I
pull
am
their
being
children
logical.
out of school
I am
to
being logical.
homeschool
Every
their
time-
kids,
no.
that is not realistic.
I'm just saying. You have to make it work for whoever can make it work. And my thing is the ones that don't make it work. That'll lessen the group.
So your
ones that
average school,
can-
let's just say your average elementary school has at least 500 students in it. Let's just say you could take out a fourth of those. You got 125 students at home. What about the other 375?
That'll lessen the crazy.
125
That'll lessen the
students.
options of the crazy. That'll lessen the options of crazy coming at your school. And my thing is to probably it'll make them, you know, it'll make the ones that actually go to that school, because really the ones that can't do anything but go to the school is going to be going to the school. The ones that really care about their children going to kick their children out.
Okay. So,
you know,
so
that's what
let me ask you this before I get off this phone. What would you say would be the realistic approach to somebody doing that today? With what you said, what would you tell that person or those people that have jobs that are out, let's say, doing services for people? How could they actually do what you're saying?
Plan for the future and do what's in the best interest of your children.
Okay. All right, Brother Dwayne. Well, I appreciate the call in, man. I appreciate you saying something, man. That's what's up. This is what it's all about.
I love you, bro. You know, I love you, man.
Hey,
I love you,
man.
man.
I love you too, brother. And thank you for calling, man. Thank you for the conversation, man. You have a good night, man.
All
right, later. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, we didn't disagree. We didn't agree, but we sure had the conversation. At the end of the day, I think that's what this is all about. I think us getting together and having discussions like this, that's what it's about, because everybody has a different approach. Everybody has a different idea. And I think that, hey, maybe to somebody, there could be a thing to where you can homeschool. And to Dwayne's point, you could possibly be homeschooling the active shooter. So shit, that could work at the end of the day. And you should have said that, Dwayne. I thought you was, but you didn't. That person who's homeschooling could potentially be homeschooling the active shooter. But that's neither here nor there. I think that where we're at today in the society, I think that with my just own personal philosophy of us being together and connecting together as a society, as a people, I think that it's paramount for us to do that. And I think that school is a great way for us to do that, to have those interactions. The education may not be the best. The indoctrination may not be what you would want it to be. But I think the social aspects of school, I think it definitely does help with people that are in society. I think it helps with your social development. Being at home, taught by one person, learning everything that you know up until you are ready to go to college or whatever the case may be by one or two people, I think it does you a disservice on a social aspect. Your knowledge base could definitely be the same as anybody else's, but the social aspect of dealing and interacting with other children, I think that could definitely, be a disservice. So I definitely want to say, anybody else got any other questions or anything? If not, I'm going to wrap this on up. This was a great conversation, great show. I'm glad we had this conversation. I wish that those people, I hope somebody that sees this, that has the ability to put some of these things into place, would actually do so. I am always available to have this discussion. I love talking about this kind of stuff, which is another reason why I started the gun channel. With that being said, please, if you watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this live with us right now, go and subscribe to the channel. It's United Guns of America. Go to YouTube, United Guns of America, click the subscribe button. Actually, I can put the link in here so that we can actually see that part too. Wait a minute, what is this? Why is this doing that? Hold on. Hold up. That is not what I want to do. Yeah. I think that's it. Alright. There we go. Man, that was weird. But I think that that's definitely something that we just got to be able to be willing to have the conversation, man. At the end of the day, I think that that's what the main idea is. I think that's what I want to get across. I want people to have the conversation, because I think that what I know is of value, but I think that what everybody else knows is of great value. And I think that that is what brings about change. When everybody's having a discussion, when everybody's talking about different things, when everybody's talking about the things that matter the most, I think that is when you actually have progress. I think that's when people can move forward and become better versions of themselves. Yes, I did just tie that back in. So I definitely hope that that's something that definitely happens. I hope that people can actually learn from this. I put the links to all 3 channels in here. And I'm gonna put this one in here by itself too, just in case. So everybody that's on here too, that's on my channel. The other channel, the new channel, I'll definitely be doing the mod thing over there when I start doing shows over there. So that should be, I think I may do one this week too, to just have that additional channel and just get some more content up on there. I got some videos and stuff I'm going to be doing there too. It's going to have a lot of product reviews and stuff like that. Make sure y'all go and check out From Daddies to Daughters. That's on the relationship rehab page. That's a new series I did. Share that, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff too. And man, this has been a great conversation. This has been a great time. So glad I did this stream. And man, to everybody that came by and supported, I hope y'all click the like. If you're watching it right now, you ain't clicked the like, click the dang on like, please. I thank you guys for all that you have done. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Brother Dwayne that called in, to all the ideas and the questions. And if you guys have some questions, or if you guys have some things you would like for me to talk about on the gun channel, email me at UGOA at UGOA, which is United Guns of America 1791 at gmail.com. Now, for those, I know somebody is saying, what the hell does 1791 mean? Does anybody know what that means? He said, Brian, I ain't subbing the shit. You know what, Fair? You ain't shit. You better sub. But does anybody know what 1791 is? Why that email address is like that? UGOA, United Guns of America, 1791. Does anybody know what happened in 1791? Or more specific, here's the hint. Does anybody know what happened on December 15th of 1971? 1791, I'm sorry. Boom! There it is. Anthony Steele, he got it. That's right. Yep. There's always a method to my madness, people. So yes, December 15th, 1791 is when the Second Amendment was actually ratified, put into action, if you will, and the right to bear arms. So yes, the right to bear arms, and it shall not be infringed upon. That means it should not be fucked with at all. Don't touch it, don't tread on it, don't come after it, don't do nothing. So yeah, that's what it means. So just remember, United Guns of America, get some people to subscribe, share it, do whatever, send it out, get the message out, get the word out. And if you got any topics or anything like that, email me there, United Guns of America 1791 at gmail.com. Again, thank you so much, guys, for all your support. Thank you for your time. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me tonight, and I appreciate that. And remember, as always, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Boom. That's the UGOA tagline. So remember that. Yeah, last chance to donate, man. You know what? Let me see if anybody out there showed a brother some love. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness, now this ain't even coming. There we go. All right. Sign on in and see what's happening. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh man, somebody got some love for you, boy. Let's see what it got here. Wait, I know this. I'm smart. I almost said your name, but I didn't. Yes, indeed. I want to send a shout out to Jinx, always willing to support the cause. Soto Nation, to support the cause. Soto Nation, let's help Brian rise his platform. That's what's up. Subscribe, hit the like, and donate. That's what's going on. Thank you, Jinx. I appreciate you. That is what's up. So I hope you guys liked the show. I hope you guys were able to get something from it. And you know what? Wait a minute. I thought that I had some people from Super Chat somewhere in here. Yes, I did. I remember too. So from Hopsh27, that's what I'm gonna say it is. Thank you so much for your donation. To Lat, thank you so much. Lat is tall. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you. There we go. I got everybody. I remember I did see that. Y'all gotta forgive me because sometimes I'll be just going through and won't remember. So it's always best to hit the PayPal. But thank you so much for your donations. I appreciate you guys. It's been great. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you got any questions about anything that I've said, you want to challenge me on it, call me like Dwayne. We can have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? That was good. I really enjoyed that, Dwayne. Thank you so much, brother. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have a good night. I will see y'all later. And as always, bye live. Peace. Yeah, I did spray that too. Just, you know, yeah. I keep it 100. Excuse me. That's my verb. Yeah.